Okay. As beginner, when I see code, sometimes it looks like magical spells or medical description, which is hard to understand. But what if we can make it more visual, like graph? This is it. We created an application called Code Graph Explorer. What it can do? It creates a living map of your code. You can see the connection between functions and files of your project so that you can have eyes over to understand your global articulation of your project. Also, this is on live, so you can you can communicate with your teammate while using it. Very efficient and efficient for team onboarding and debugging faster. Let me quickly introduce our team. Here is Jerome. He's the project manager, also full stack engineer. Myself as front end. How we organized our project. Firstly, we did brainstorming and researches. Secondly, we made prototype. We tested many technologies such as Node.js, Nest.js, and Django, and so on. After that, we assessed user system and authentication and database also. Finally, we tested and made documentation and diagrams. Okay, now I'm gonna show you some demonstration of our project and of our application. Okay, firstly, you have to download a zip file from your GitHub, for example. Ah, okay. Okay, let me refresh it again. It's not connected. It takes a while, a little. Okay, it's connected. As you can see, this is on live, so you can see what he's doing. And now, okay, you downloaded your zip file and import it. Then you can see automatically some nodes. If you click it, you can see the code inside. Also, the functions are categorized by circle, squares, front end, back end. Okay, take a look at this function called run logic. Okay, there's a line. This is the connection between the two different files. Main py, there is the function called non-run logic, and also the another file called logic py. There's also the same name of the code. With the line, you can see the connection between the files. And take a look at on the corner left side. You can see the tree. You can see the global articulation of your project. If you click it, the node disappears and appears. Also, you can test your code. Now I test the code. Okay, it works. Okay, what if I make an error here? I'm gonna change the name of function here, like this. And test it again. Okay, it makes errors. So this is the demonstration.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about the different technologies and the stack we used for this project. For the backend, we used Django. For the front end, Next React. For the deployment, we chose to containerize the servers into a Docker. For the global internet deployment, we chose to group the different addresses ports into a common port with CADI, with a reverse proxy. And for hosting a URL, we chose Cloudflare. This is a free solution for temporary testing. And for the database, we chose Postgre. And for our daily MVP organization, we chose Taiga for organizing our sprints and user stories. This is an extract of a code snippet we chose to present to you. This one is about the extraction of, this is a code about the detection first of different type files given by the user project when he or she upload its zip file. We chose to detect the C, Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript files. When one of these type files are detected, then it starts to run a function according to its type file. In this extract, it is a Python parsing function. That means that if you want, we chose to extract to detect and extract the functions which are declared first, and in other parts functions which are called. For example, if it is declared in the file A and called in the file B, then there are matches between the two functions and returns all the pairs and matches to the main function. About the challenges we encountered, the biggest difficulty for us was to first extract the type files and extract the source code from these files. And the second difficulty was to reuse these different informations and data into an interactive graph. About the lessons we learned, the biggest lessons we learned was to work together in team. It was for organizing this teamwork. We learned that agile methods, for example, were very effective for this kind of task. And we learned also a lot about the different technologies and stack which offer different features, and to use them in good context. Finally, we wanted to say that we could increase our application with some features like notifications or email retrieving, or make the treatment of data more robust for according with RGPD rules. And that is it for us. This is the future. Thank you for attention.
Thank you for the presentation. You talked about the brainstorming and researches in the beginning of the presentation. Which process did you use in particular in brainstorming or researches?
Which processes we used? We just download the different stack, for example, and made a prototype of a main page, for example, with a different stack. For example, we made a dashboard with an authentication system with Next.js, Node.js. We tried a Flask. We tried Next, Node, Flask. I think this is all. We tried Java a little too.
Thank you. Thank you. You have some.
On technology slide, I can see React and Next.js.
React, yes.
Faut lui montrer. You use React or Next.js or both?
Both.
Why?
Because Next is a good solution for. Next is undissociated from React first. When you use Next, it is obligatory to use React. This is what I understood. And Next is a good solution for organizing the middleware and the middle layers between the backend and the front end. It organizes really simpler the front end.
Okay, thank you.
If you had to imagine the next steps of your project, what that could be?
About the next steps?
Yes,
Okay.
if you had.
First, we could implement, for example, more graph interaction. For example, we just, in our project, we just integrated rectangles and lines, but we could also add, I don't know, text, more shapes, for example, or I don't know, and maybe I thought also about something. When you compile your code, for example, it shows exactly in which lines the error is, for example, or something. I don't know. We could also maybe implement a progress bar during the compilation for showing an error or not.
Okay, thank you.
What are you most proud of during this project? Quelle est votre plus grande fierté en haut? Quelle est votre plus grande fierté durant ce projet? De quoi êtes-vous content?
I think the biggest proud of this project was the first that the WebSocket, I think.
Okay.
WebSocket, integrate the WebSocket protocol inside was really satisfying for us because well, it was really special to put in place.
Okay. And how was the collaboration?
RAS.
Okay.
It's okay. Thank you very much.
Hello, we are the Belfield Festival project team. The Belfield Festival is an electronic and techno music event that is held in Caussade in the south of France every year. It started out as a project between 3 friends that were united through their passion for music and creativity. Over the years, it has grown as one of the biggest electronic and techno music events in the region. This year marks its 6th edition with 2 days of live shows, 20 artists performing on 2 stages, and about 2,000 visitors. The festival is known for its great atmosphere and strong community spirit. Our team member Numan is actually part of its organization, which gave us a real connection to the project. And we are excited to show you the web application we developed for the festival.
This is a web application we created to support the Real Belfield Music Festival. With this application, user can explore the festival schedule and check artist information and buy ticket online. It also allows visitors to check the volunteer information and event location, other details. This application made for 2 types of users, festival visitors and organizers. Visitors can enjoy a simple and friendly interface to discover events and get their ticket safely. Organizers can use the admin dashboard to manage artist, update schedule, and edit content in real time. Our goal was to make the platform easy to use, modern, and helpful for everyone involved in the festival.
So our team has 3 members. Each of us focus on a different part of the project. I work on the backend, secure setting up the server and making sure the app run smoothly. Gabriel also work on the backend, focus on Stripe payment to make sure the user buy a ticket surely and efficiently. And Amy handled the front end, designed the website so it's easy to use and looks good on any device.
Now let's take a look at our live demo. First, I'd like to show you the main page of our website. First, here is the home page. User can check general information and about the festival, including the event location, date, and artist lineup. That's how it looks. Next is program page. Here, user can see the schedule for each stage and check when each artist will perform. After that, we have an artist page. Visitor can browse all performers and view their profile and get more detail about each artist. Next, ticket page. User can buy ticket online easily and safely. We will introduce the Stripe payment system later in the presentation. Now, let's log in as admin and go to the admin dashboard. Here, the admin can manage the event schedule. Here, admin can add update artist information and event schedule and gallery items, as well as manage ticket buyer and volunteer. Now let's look at the event admin page as an example. Here, the admin can manage the event schedule. First, there is a form to add a new event. Below that, we can see a list of all registered events. For example, if admin want to change the time, this artist just click edit button and change the time like that. And we can see the updated schedule.
Finally, we can take a look at our Stripe payment system. Once a user selects a ticket and then proceeds to check out and then confirms the payment securely through Stripe, the ticket will be updated to paid in our database and the user will be sent a confirmation email. This shows how our front-end, back-end, and Stripe integration work together seamlessly.
Technology used. For the front end, we use the Next.js and Tailwind CSS to build responsive and component-based design. For the backend, we built with Node.js and Express, which handle the APIs. And we used MongoDB as our database, and finally, we integrated the Stripe API, so user can buy ticket online easily and safely.
So our project follows a simple and efficient architecture. The user interacts with the front end built with the Next.js, which include pages like event, home, artist, and ticket. It provides a clean and responsive interface for exploring the festival details and purchasing tickets. The backend, built with Node.js and Express, manage routes for artists, events, ticket, volunteer, and admin. It also connects with Stripe for secure payment processing and MongoDB for the database. When a user buys a ticket, the backend creates a Stripe checkout session, process the payment securely, and update the ticket status in the database. All festival data, such as artist, event tickets, and volunteers, is stored in MongoDB, allowing flexibility and scalability. Together, this component creates a smooth, reliable, and user-friendly UI UX design.
Here we can take a look at one of the key parts of our backend, the ticket creation and payment flow. Once a user buys a ticket, this function first creates a new ticket document in our MongoDB database with a pending payment status. Once this is done, it uses Stripe's payment intent API to create a secure checkout session with the ticket type, price, and user email. Stripe handles the payment process, and once it succeeds, a webhook automatically updates the ticket status to paid in our database. This system ensures data consistency, secure transactions, and a smooth user experience, all without exposing sensitive payment information to our server.
Let's talk about the collaboration. We used GitHub to manage our code, and each team member used Future Branch and the main branch was used for production. And we also communicated through Slack and Discord to coordinate our work. And next, we have the timeline. At the beginning, we focused on the idea and MVP concept. Next, we defined the project goal and created technical design. And from 7 to 10, we built front end and back end at the same time and tested the main feature. Finally, in the last 2 weeks, we prepared the final presentation and project documentation.
And let's talk about the main challenges we face during the project. First, on the technical side, one of the biggest challenges was connecting MongoDB with our backend. We also had to implement Stripe to make sure payments were secure and reliable. And finally, we wanted to build a smooth and user-friendly UI UX, which require a lot of testing and adjustments. On the non-technical side, it was sometimes difficult to coordinate tasks and manage remote meetings since we were not always working on the same place. We overcame these challenges through strong communication with the team and having a regular meeting with the client. We also did the iterative testing, refining features little by little to make sure everything works.
Now we can talk about what we learned from this project and what we plan to do next. So we learned valuable lessons from this project, especially in team collaboration and API integration. And we have 3 main steps that we plan to take for this web application. The first one is to develop a native mobile app to allow easier access to festival information. The second one is to implement multilingual support to reach a wider audience. And the final one is to implement real-time features such as chat or live streaming to make the festival experience more interactive.
And that's it for our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any question?
Thank you for your presentation. Your website is responsive or not responsive? Your website is responsive?
Responsive.
Does it work in mobile device?
Ah, yes.
No, the next challenge.
Okay.
Thank you for the presentation. Don't remember if you said if you use a CMS or not for if you develop from scratch the website, or if you use the CMS to develop the website. Do you know what is a CMS? No. Did you use an API or did you develop from a white page?
Just with the API, with the backend, with Node.
Okay.
The API called fetch. And
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Why did you choose Stripe device for the payment? Did you have compared some other solutions?
A little bit, but we mainly chose Stripe because it was both the easiest to work with and also because it seemed the most secure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Your website is deployed or not?
Not.
Not?
But we're gonna do soon.
Okay.
But for now, the Stripe payment is not 100% working, so we're not deploying now.
Okay. And in next step page, you said you use native native mobile, yes. And which technology do you use for native mobile development?
We don't think about that
Okay.
for now.
No problem.
Sorry.
Okay.
Did you had some problem during the conceptions or the development you have particularly in mind, and how did you solve it?
Yes, to connect Mongo with the backend.
Yeah.
Mongo is very difficult for me to work, and I used some seeds to implement all the data directly in Mongo.
Thank you very much.
And why did you use MongoDB and not MySQL or Puzzle?
I don't know, because I saw it and a friend told me about this. But I think if I do it again, I not choose MongoDB.
Okay. And how did you manage the role, the user role? Yes. How did you manage it?
I'm not sure I really understood the question, sorry.
Did you manage the user role in a database to difference admin role or basic user role? Or,
it is separate.
okay.
Hello everyone. In this presentation we are going to introduce you to Matchmaker, a web application that we've been building for the past few months, designed to help managing and sharing tournaments of different types of sports and games. I am Gwendal and I was in charge of the front end and the UX design.
Hello, I'm Baptiste. I was in charge on the backend and infrastructure. So the problem, the original idea came from realizing some association using pencil and paper to organize some tournaments is lacks of live visibility of the skyboard and complexity for amateur and organizer. And so
the solution we came up with is a web application that addresses these several issues by offering for tournament organizers a clear and simple interface to manage their tournaments, as well as an automatic match generation for each round. And for spectators, an easy access to the scoreboard of the tournament and a real-time scores update feature.
Technology and architecture. So the fully application is containerized with Docker and using Nginx reverse proxy for the backend and frontend to serve a web server, and is hosted now on VPS. So the backend using is built with Django, and I have the WebSocket with Django channel using Redis caches, and the database is PostgreSQL with scalability.
During development, we used Vite to have an almost instant development server with hot module replacement for fast iterations. And the whole front end is built using React to provide a modern single-page application with Tailwind CSS and Daisy UI for styling. This stack allows us to offer an interactive and intuitive interface that is fast and responsive. And it is also easy to maintain since we applied the React logic to break down the application into small reusable components. The timeline of the project unfolded in 3 key phases, each representing a milestone in the project's evolution. So first, we began by brainstorming the core concept of the application and defining the main features we wanted to implement. We also established the project charter and the technical documentation to create a clear roadmap of the project. The second phase was structured into 4 development sprints, each focusing on the main functionality of the application, which are the secure user management with authentication using HTTP-only cookies, the full tournament and teams management, the implementation of the real-time update feature using the WebSocket protocol, and the automatic emailing system that we use for registration and password recovery. The last phase was the public release, during which we made a few final improvements on the application and fully deployed it, including search engine optimization for referencement, and we also built a landing page to introduce the application. So now we are going to make a demonstration of the application. This is the page you land on when you type matchmaker.ovh in your browser. So let's get started. In this window, you can either enter a tournament's code to follow the tournament as a spectator, or you can create and manage your own if you're an organizer. So first, you have to log in to the application. And here's the page you land on. So for now, no tournament has been created with this account. So the list is empty. Let's create a tournament. Here you have to fill a small form by giving a few informations about the tournament, such as the name, the location of the tournament, the date of the event, and the type of sports you want to use the tournament for, And you can choose the mode, so we are not going to go into details. We're going to choose the bracket mode for the example, in which a team that loses during a match is eliminated from the tournament. Here you can create the teams with the participants' names. And once you click validate, the tournament has been created. So this is the page you land on. This is the page of the tournament. There are 3 different tabs: the ranking tab, the matches tab, and the tree tab. Let's go back to the ranking. So for now, the tournament has just started, so it is filled with zeros. But as soon as we will edit the scores of a match, the ranking table will update. And on the tree tab, you can see the evolution of the tournament. So now, for those of you who want, we are going to show the real-time update feature. If you want to scan the QR code with your smartphone, you can follow the tournament in real time on your mobile phone. For those of you who don't want to do it, don't worry, we are going to open a window on the right. So the window on the right is in private navigation mode so that we are not logged in as the organizer. And we see things from the spectator point of view. And now if we did the score of a match, you will see on the right window or on your smartphone for those who scan the QR code, the updates happening in real time. That's it for the demonstration.
So the code snippet real-time score updates. On your left, the backend classes tournament consumer. The all user spectator connect on the URL and the share code like the AB123. You connected on the some mem group channel, and any changements in the tournament, the front end sends JSON, the backend receive this and updates the to broadcast of the group tournament.
And on the right, you can see what's going on with the front end. So this is built with React. As soon as a spectator connects to the tournament page, a WebSocket channel is open to the right group. And it listens for messages from the backend. As soon as a message is received, 2 things will happen. First, the state containing the tournament data will be updated. And then a highlight effect will be set up. And it will last 2 seconds before we make it disappear by setting the state back to null. And then we close properly the WebSocket channel when the user leaves the page.
So the collaboration, we're using GitHub for stocking the code or things code, and using one branch for features and testing on full dev, and actually the main branches is deploy with GitHub action. And some everyday on the Discord to collaboration with my peers, and in some person every day.
Among the few challenges we faced was the implementation of the WebSocket protocol, since we never used it, but we managed to do it by implementing it step by step. Also, creating a fully Dockerized infrastructure was a little tricky, but we anticipated this by starting it during the first sprint, so we would have time to fix any issues we might have. And also integrating the HTTP-only cookies was a little tricky. but we managed to face it by solving issues one at a time. What's next for the future of the application? We would like to integrate Stripe in order to allow people to make donations to support us. We would also like to add new different type of sports and create a tournament hub so that participants can join a tournament nearby. And that's it for us. Thank you for your attention. We hope to enjoy it.
Thank you for your presentation. It's a very good presentation. I love the UI of the presentation. It's very beautiful. And for the authentication, you make it from scratch.
Yes.
You don't use a solution like BetterOS or
No,
OS,
we made everything from scratch.
Okay. And for email sender,
For email sender, we're using Celery
okay.
on the broker and using Rediscussions. It's a partition with one to WebSocket and one to broker with Celery.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Did you make some tests with your mates or people around you?
For the tests, we created bash scripts in order to test the API. And to test the front end, we tested it manually every time we implemented a feature.
Okay.
So that's it.
Thank you very much. What did you do to design the process of the user journey? Of the user journey, le parcours utilisateur.
We made a Figma model
Okay.
to have in mind what we wanted to do and the different pages we wanted to implement.
Thank you very much.
Your website respects the accessibility standards or not?
We didn't really look at the standards, but we tried to make it simple and intuitive and easy to use for maybe older people, because associations are usually handled by older people than us. So we tried to make the design fit in one page most of the time, so we don't have to scroll on the page. And also we implemented a light and dark mode for the application.
And I can see on the live demo, your website is responsive. You build this front end on mobile first or on desktop first strategy?
On web, on large screen first.
Okay.
Then we noticed that by reducing the screen, everything was a little complicated to use, so we improved it to make it accessible on mobile.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are
Ingrid Mornac.
and Jeffrey Basset from cohort C26 at Alberton School, Toulouse. Today, we are glad to present our tutorette portfolio project called Zafira Solidaire. Zafira Solidaire is a web and mobile platform created for rapidly growing non-profit organization. Its mission is to attract institutional funders and highlight its social impact.
Our goal was to create a web showcase able to grow alongside the association's future needs. We focused on technology, on SEO optimization and performance. To achieve that, we choose a modern and consistent stack designed with an optimized SEO, with solid code and long-term flexibility for future evolutions.
We are a team of 2 full-stack developers. We work closely together on all parts of this project, from the backend to the front-end, sharing tasks and learning from each step. We strive to master the full stack. We wanted to build an efficient, complete, and maintainable application that meets our client expectation.
Let's go to the demo. Let's start by logging in with our admin Google Access. The structure supports 2 authentication methods, Google OAuth2 and a local logging system, both designed to ensure a secure and a flexible access for administrators. The website is fully responsive, accessible with a clear and consistent design, which follows the association's branding. The site highlights Zafira's values, latest news, and the blog optimized for SEO using server-side rendering and dynamic slug management.
Now, let's move on the admin dashboard. It allows administrators to track some statistics and manages content, like sharing a blog post or validate and publish a testimonial sending from user. This dashboard is connected through RESTful API and both it ensures, it guarantees a safe and smooth experience for admin.
On the front end, we used React with Next.js, written in TypeScript, along with Tailwind CSS for styling, and ChatCN UI for reusable and accessible components.
On the backside, this application runs on Nest.js with PostgreSQL database, Prisma ORM. We use Swagger and Postman for API documentation and testing, and Jest for unit test. We have also integrated SendGrid API to manage and verify email, which strengthens the reliability of authentication system. And finally, the entire of this project was containerized with Docker and Docker Compose to ensure portability and ease of deployment across multiple environments. This project architecture follows an hexagonal pattern. It clearly separates domain, application layer, and infrastructure, making the code more scalable, more testable.
Each module, such as user or blog, is independent, which makes the system easier to maintain and extend. The structure will accept future features like LOASO integration, for example, in the next process phase.
To boost SEO and performance, we build a system that fetch blog by slug and include metadata. The front-end adapt to SSR or client mode, while the backend just return a blog post in JSON format for dynamic pages.
On the front end, we develop a visitor tracking system for admin dashboard. It prevents duplicate visit from being registered if the same user returns within 30 minutes. This approach improves the accuracy of analytics and the quality of real-time statistics.
We use GitHub with a feature branch workflow. Each task was dedicated to an issue, developed it in on branch, and then merged after review. The life cycle of Zafira Solidaire project runs over 12 weeks, from the initial ID to the final project delivery, including MVP development phase. The first 6 weeks was dedicated to ideation, technical documentation, and architecture setup.
The development phase lasted 4 weeks, divided into 3 sprints. The first focused on the back end, the second on the front end, and the last on the final improvement. We work side by side throughout the process to keep the code consistent.
On the technical side, we face some challenge, like migration with Prisma ORM, architecture hexagonal setup, or SSR rendering using Next.js.
On the organizational side, the main challenges were to manage time and to synchronize our code while learning new technologies on the go. We overcame these challenges through a constant communication and discipline workflow. Our MVP reached all our planned features. Offering a stable, accessible platform, we learn how to build a complete project from ideation to delivery while improving our skills.
And this project also taught us a lot about discipline, teamwork, and adaptivity. It has been a truly formative experience, both technically and personally. For the next step, we plan to build a community space for members, add a professional research catalog, integrate API LOSO for donation and user management, and add a volunteer system management.
To conclude, we are proud of what we accomplished and the journey we've shared over the past weeks.
A special thanks to Fariza, our tutor, for his trust, and Alberton for his support.
Thank you for listening. Have you got any questions?
Thank you very much for the presentation. Have you worked with a designer for the graphic content?
Zafira gives you. Sorry. Thank you. Zafira gives us her branding, and then we try to make a clear and consistent design.
Okay. And do you use tools in particular to design it?
We used yes, we used tools for bubbles, for example.
Which ones?
ChatCN for the components.
Okay.
In the most cases.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. And why did you use Nest?
Okay. I know it's a Ferrari engine in the Renault Clio, but we wanted to master the full stack as a professional stack, not just for learning. We want to live a professional experience.
And I see you make a test in your project.
Yeah.
What technology did you use for test? And what kind of test did you make? Unit test or
Unit test
integration
with
test?
Jest. We have also tried super test. No,
Integration test?
integration test and end-to-end
end-to-end test. Okay.
test.
Okay.
Yes.
I must say I'm very embarrassed because I have nothing to say. You can be proud because it's a very good project, and you must be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Merci. Merci beaucoup.
Hello everyone, we are going to present our project called Broken Paradise. We are two on this project.
Nathan Dupuis.
And Laura Aupetit. Nathan handled the backend and the database, while I work on the front-end and the design. However, he also contributes to the front-end and I help with the backend.
Our goal for this project is to create a website that allow user to browse a large catalog of webtoon, discover their description, title, alt title in many languages possible, search for specific webtoon with search by authors, name, chapter. We can the user need to save their reading progress and can create webtoon that is not registered in the database.
The project started on the 1st of July. It began with ID developments phase, quickly followed by the team formation. In mid-August, we start project documentation, which continue until the end of September. From late September, both backend and the front-end development phase ran in parallel until the end of October. Finally, the project ended with final testing and feedback phase is early November.
Here we can see the database, the class diagram of our database. We can see here a user with their personal information. Here we can see webtoon with their metadata like title, status, and other data. Here is the release. The release is a language link to webtoon like French, English, Korean, and many others. Here is the table that is a link between a user and a release. And here it's only the genre that is linked to webtoon. The base model is only for the global ID, updated, created, and the CRUD methods.
For the backend, we choose DjangoDB because it provides strong security, a clear architecture, and many other advantages. The database, we opt for PostgreSQL, which is highly compatible with Django and can easily handle a large number of elements. The frontend was developed with Next.js, offering excellent ISSR performance, efficient integrations of React and Tailwind CSS, and many other benefits. For version control, we used GitHub, and for team communication, we relied on Discord.
Here is a code snippet about our backend. It handles the creation of a webtoon by a user. We can see here it's the creation of the webtoon, the table webtoon. Here is the release, so one language linked to a webtoon. And here is the personal information that the user register or not to link to that webtoon. And here is a code from the font. It is when the user look to his webtoon, that he creates, but that he register in this library. So here is only the webtoon, and here is the request to receive the data about his personal data.
We aim to design a clean and minimalist interface, inspired by the color of the most popular webtoon, while ensuring excellence of readability. Our goal was to allow others to navigate the site easily, offering a smooth and intuitive experience with a few clicks as possible.
I will present you the demo of the website. So here is the main page. We can see many webtoons. We can click on one webtoon to see information. We can add to library maybe only if we are connected. So before we connect, I will present you the advanced research page, or we can search about with some detail. Here we can see we have only 2. I don't have a lot of data, but because I only take a sample to be much faster. So now I will log in with a user account. So now we can continue to look for the webtoon. We can add with a simple click. We can look on our library, all the webtoon that is registered for this account. And here we can create a new webtoon with the title, alternative title, authors, etc., etc. If we create a webtoon, we can see that I create this webtoon before. I ask for review. So now I will log in into an administrator account to review the content and accept it or not. If it's not appropriate or not really true. Here we can see we have 2 webtoons, one created by Nathan and one created by Laura. Laura is the one that we see before. We can see that's a little bit light for description and statue or jar. If we know the real webtoon, we can deny it because it do not correspond to the reality. And you can see that is not here anymore. And that's all for the demo live. I will go on the future feature that we think about. We have many other features, but we think about this is pretty interesting to add. A comment section for webtoons to let our impression about webtoon, if it was good or not, because only the rating is not really good to just say that. And we plan to connect to a reading app API, like Webtoon or other. I don't know. I don't have all the name, but to gather announcement information to our website to let the user know about update chapter and news about webtoons.
This project of use a lot. At first, we overestimate our ability, but with the help of our SUI, we revise our MVP to make it more realistic. We face a more technical challenge than expected with new technologies, and realize we should have done more research and testing before choose them. However, through time practice and better time meeting, we eventually overcome them obstacle. We also don't hold enough meeting, but later we learn to communicate and plan more meeting. After this presentation, we can see that we achieved and concrete and tangible results. a website with complete and stable features. In conclusion, this project has been challenging but truly rewarding experience. We already see many to improve and expand our sites, showing great potential for growth. Proud of what we've learned, we plan to keep moving forward.
Thank you for your attention.
Do you have many questions?
Thank you for your presentation. For the authentication, I see you can sign in, and log out. But can you delete an account or not?
Yes, that was a little bit in a rush in the end. So we have the roots for this, but we do not have a font to do the modification and the suppression of user.
Okay.
It's a little bad.
Thank you for the presentation. I would like to read a webtoon on your app. It's very interesting. Did you make some tests with your mates or circle around you? Do you have feedbacks on what you did?
With the back, I have done some tests with Django. I did a lot of tests to ensure that the routes are safe and we provide good data. And with the back, with the font, I have a friend that is not in the informatic at all. I want to show her and have a feedback, but the time do not let us do that. I think I will do it. We will do it in the next step to have a user, a real user feedback.
Okay, thank you.
For the front end, you choose Next.js?
Yes.
Okay. And I see you talk about SSR, Laura. Can you know different content rendering strategy or like SSR, CSR?
I don't have other in the mind. We use mainly SSR, only SSR.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we, my partner and I, would like to present you our portfolio project, which is a tutored project for the association Zafira Solidaire. The project is a website for the association, which main mission is to help some young job seekers to access the job market in the best conditions possible. Fariza Swiller, the founder of the association, asked mainly two things. First, the website showcase the main roles and philosophies of the association. The second one was to furnish an efficient interface for the administrator to manage the different entities of the website. My name is Ancelin Chevalier, my collaborator's name is Théodore Seng, and we were both aspiring full-stack developers on the project. First, the choice of technologies used. We chose a Java environment with Spring Boot as the main framework. We added an ORM, Hibernate, and for the database, we chose MySQL. For the front end, we chose the React library with Tailwind CSS framework and the Daisy UI plugin. Tailwind CSS and Daisy UI were mainly added for comfort and simplicity. Finally, we added an external API named Strapi to handle the blog post logic of the website.
For the architecture, we chose to organize around the 3T architecture. First, we have a presentation layer whose task is to provide different users, admins and users, with specific role-based views to ensure each one of them accesses only their relevant part of the application logic. Then we have an application layer. We chose to implement an MVC architectural design alongside a facade design pattern. Data is handled using data transfer objects that provide us with a simple yet safe data format to handle communication between the front and back ends. The job of the application layer is to manage the core business logic of the application as well as ensuring data integrity. Then we have the data layer that is comprised of a MySQL database, which is fed data by Hibernate, which is Java built-in ORM. Its job is to map Java models onto MySQL tables. And then finally, we have Strapi as an external service, which allowed us to handle in an external fashion the blog post logic of the application. The code snippet we chose to present to you today is the refresh controller method. It allows a user to stay connected even after his access token has been revoked. So he doesn't have to log back in again every 30 minutes or so. How it works is that on some restricted endpoint, the backend checks the cookie if it exists and if the user is still authenticated. If it doesn't, the user is prompted to log back in again. If everything is valid, Spring Boot issues a new access token and securely update the cookie with a newly generated refresh token. Keep in mind that for the coming presentation, we set the access token life span to 10 seconds. So we won't lose access to the admin role or account because the refresh token is doing its job in the backend side.
So, when administrator logs in, he or she will be redirected automatically on the admin dashboard, which is divided into 4 blocks. The admin dashboard furnishes all the CRUD methods permitting to manage the different entities of the website. The first block concerns the users of the website. Each of them can be checked as serviced or not, or deleted if needed. The second one concerns the events, which can be edited, deleted, or added if needed. You just fill all of the attributes needed there. Then we have the partners, who will be showcased in a carousel on their homepage. And finally, we have the blog posts. If the administrator wants to manage this one, he just has to click this button. He will be redirected on the interface of Strapi, which will display all the current blog posts of the website and give the opportunity to add a new one if needed. Just feel. A common user will be redirected on the homepage just there, which will indeed display the main roles of the association and philosophies. Right here, you can find the founder, Farisa Swiller. A few metrics displayed dynamically, which updates every 30 seconds. There, the user can donate money or join as a volunteer. You just have the carousel of partners of the association displayed right here. And finally, the contact.
For our teamwork, we choose to organize as follow. First, daily we held short meetups to check for any roadblocks and show everyone gets the help needed before moving to the next steps. During our work hours, we stayed continuously connected to Discord so we could tackle a problem right as they arise. It also allowed us to celebrate cleared roadblocks when needed. Then we used GitHub for our Teams collaboration and version control system with the following strategy. Each feature would have its own branch. Then on a completed feature, we would create a pull request so the feature can be reviewed. And once the feature has been reviewed and validated, we would merge the feature branch into the development branch.
There were 3 main challenges during the development of the project. The first one was time management, especially concerning the amount of time allocated to test even very minor features. This point was discussed between us, and we decided that this time was best allocated either developing or testing more major features, which saves time for further in the project. Second, we had the propensity to dispatch our attention and time between many features at the same time. After a few discussions, we decided to enforce respect of the chosen commit strategy and stay focused on the current feature before starting another, which kept the workflow clear. And finally, sometimes you must learn to not overdo things. We tried to code the ability to handle the blog post logic in the backend. After a few time on this feature, we decided to rely on Strapi.
For further improvement, we decided between each other that on a short term, we would focus our attention on creating a more polished user experience, mainly by fixing the most obvious bugs. We should also implement a user email verification strategy on user registration, and also starting facing our first real world, so to speak, user feedback. Then on the medium term, our focus would shift onto the deployment of the application as well as setting up proper monitoring. Then on the long term, the challenge will be to gather user feedback and from it deduce maybe new fixes or features needed to accompany the development of the application.
We thank you all for your attention, and thanks to Zafira Solida for its trust and the opportunity to do something unique and meaningful. Have you got any questions?
Thank you for the presentation and the very good project of Solidarity. I have 2 questions, technical questions. If you can just go back to the code snippet, I have a question. It's a little bit tricky. For the cookie policy, you have used the same seat none.
Yes,
Why?
Same site none is needed for pass through the course security measures. So we needed, because we were testing everything from localhost, we needed the same site policy to be none. And in Spring Boot, there's a security which made us only able to test it through Google Chrome. It's because same site none has to be set with secure true. So it passed through Spring Boot security filters accordingly to be sure there is not a malign intent behind the requests. So this is a thing Google Chrome does not enforce, and Firefox does enforce it. So we couldn't test properly through Firefox because there was no cookie to be found, because it doesn't transmit cookie when it's on the same, when every request comes from the same domain.
Okay, thank you. It's fair enough. The second question, why did you use a Strapi for the blog content? Why didn't you just have an endpoint or a database table for the blog things?
We tried to do an endpoint for this, but it was an amount of time that and we wouldn't reinvent the wheel when we have a perfectly viable external service for this. And it was the opportunity to learn how to connect an external API. After all, we are learners after all. And it was interesting.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you for the presentation. I have functional questions. Why did you choose cards format instead of tables in the admin interfaces?
I do not quite understand what you mean.
You shown an interface
on the demo?
Yeah.
On the admin dashboard.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's. Why you choose the card format instead of a table, a classic table?
We found it more ergonomic for purpose reason. We could have done a list, I suppose, but we had to keep in mind that the client has revealed ourselves as not very competent in development. We wanted a toolbox which was intuitive and responsive.
Okay, thank you. And don't really understand why there is 2 different interfaces. One, this one in white, and the other in black. Strapi, yeah.
Do you want to answer?
It is simply an external service. We don't have our hand onto how it's designed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Do you have time to implement any test? Or?
Yes, so that's one of the problems we had. We went a bit overboard on unit testing, very simple features such as models, things like that. So what's good with Spring Boot is that it provides with a testing environment out of the box that mirrors the application environment. So when you develop a feature on the application part, you can create right out of the bat its testing counterpart. And I went a bit overboard on testing in the beginning. That led to a time management problem in the end. So yeah, we did, and then we also used Swagger for integration testing once we had enough features to test accordingly, like testing that foreign keys are correctly updated with models and so on. For the front-end testing, we did with simply a Google Chrome dev tool, watching console, network, tab, and application storage for cookies.
Okay. And for the front end, you use Dizzy UI? And do you know Chatien?
I didn't learn the existence of Chatien.
Okay.
We had the advisement of A3 of Alberta School that showed us the UI plugin, and we found it cool and very efficient in its way to do some front-end components.
Yes, it's very good, but for me, it's my opinion, Chatien.
What's the name of the plugin?
Chatien.
Chatien. For me, it's a better solution than Dizzy UI, but it's only my opinion, and that's all.
Probably we should, maybe the next time we do a project, we will look at
Thank you.
Thank you.